Hello and welcome to the Cruise Line, brought to you by Tour Productions. I'm your host, Erica Cruz.
And I'm Jason Nichols.
The Trump administration inflamed tensions with Iran over the past 4 years. They pulled the U.S. out of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, colloquially known as the Iran nuclear deal, in 2018. After the Trump administration killed General Qasem Soleimani, threatened to bomb 52 important cultural sites in Iran, and introducing crippling sanctions, President Biden faces a difficult task of convincing the Iranians to work with and trust Americans. Today, we will explore the JCPOA and the options for the Biden administration to stabilize the region. Today on the Cruise Line.
America's strange and often strained relationship with Iran dates back at least to 1953, when the CIA and British intelligence hired criminals to stage a coup after Iranian democratically elected secular Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh tried to nationalize Iranian oil. Nationalization of the Iranian oil industry would have badly cut into the profits of a British corporation called the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company. The coup ousted Mossadegh in favor of the Shah, who was backed heavily by the United States. Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, also known as the Shah of Iran, ruled until 1979, when wide protests forced him out of the country. The Ayatollah Khomeini, a Shia religious leader who had been living in exile, returned to Iran, and on April 1st, after a nationwide referendum, the Islamic Republic of Iran was born. Relations with the U.S. worsened after Iranian protesters surrounded the U.S. embassy in Tehran and took hostages. The hostages were held for 444 days and were freed on the day Ronald Reagan was inaugurated as a sign of disrespect to President Jimmy Carter. In 1988, the USS Vincennes shot down Airbus A300, an Iranian passenger plane that carried 290 people, most of whom were headed to Mecca for the Hajj. At the turn of the millennium, fears arose that Iran was developing facilities for the enrichment of uranium, which could be used to develop a nuclear weapon.
The Obama-Biden administration initiated a closer relationship to the Iranian government. President Obama spoke directly to moderate Iranian President Hassan Rouhani in 2013. By 2015, the U.S. and Iran, along with the UK, China, France, Germany, and Russia, agreed to a deal in which the Iranian government would allow inspectors to monitor its nuclear activities. Under the JCPOA, Iran was ordered to cut the number of gas centrifuges by 2/3 for 13 years. In addition, the terms of the deal called for Iran to cut its stockpile of low-enriched uranium by 98% and completely eradicate its medium-enriched uranium. In exchange, Iran would have economic sanctions lifted and be allowed to participate in the global market. Not only did President Trump pull out of the deal and reinstate sanctions, he threatened to sanction any country that bought Iranian oil.
Iran began defying the deal's key terms after the U.S. left the deal under Trump. They've begun enriching uranium much closer to weapons-grade levels and have vowed to begin experimenting with uranium metals, an important element in a nuclear warhead. Iran's Supreme Leader Khamenei stated that Iran will abide by the terms of the deal only if the U.S. lifts sanctions it imposed. President Biden has rejected that proposal, stating that Iran must stop enriching uranium before sanctions are lifted.
That's all for us here on the Cruise Line. Like and comment below if this video was helpful, share widely, and be on the lookout for more content from us and other soon-to-launch shows with Tour Productions. Stay safe and wear your mask.